Backing music was used illegally.
That ExP was remarkable, unremarkable. He made the album to lift himself up and pull him out of the quagmire. Ain't we all, man? Ain't we all, brother?
I went on a stag do to London the other year.
Very special guest, ExP from Flame Griller, the West Yorkshire rap crew. He's a top bloke. Buy everything he does.
The WYcast is made possible by people going on the XP homepage, www.exp.uk, and buying my albums on vinyl and CD and getting merch as well. So big thanks to everyone who has, and if you enjoy these podcasts, please consider helping out by going and buying some. Welcome to the WYcast Series 4. Big up if you've been here before. But if you've not, then you've missed a lot, and I've quickly got to get you up to speed for sure. So I'm XP, or people call me Ben, hip-hop musician based in Leeds, who's being more intent to promote the scene full of dope MCs, dope producers, dope people whose hopes and dreams involve being part of hip-hop. Might be the love of their life, they might do it just on the side, or go whole hog and it's a company vibe. We're just looking to push hip-hop in West Yorkshire, WY, so with a GoPro and a couple of mics, a Zoom recorder, some seats and things, I meet them in somewhere scenic, and we begin this episode of the WYcast featuring The Dinkmaster. I met this guy very recently, and he is incredibly young. In fact, he was born when pretty much I put my first album out, which is both interesting and fucking horrendous for a 40-year-old man well over the hill. But this guy is the future of West Yorkshire hip-hop and beyond, and to be honest, like, we've been doing more and more work together of late, a lot of freestyle and stuff, and he's just super talented, great freestyler, great writer, great musician, can play pretty much any instrument as well. He's just got a crazy catalogue of music considering his age as well. You should really dig through his music. Yeah, I can't really big him up enough. I do think he's super talented. He's a really sick guy. We got a chance to chat at Hawksworth Wood, not far from where I live and not far from where he skates. So yeah, it's a good chat. Check it out. Dinkmaster.
Hello there.
It's so nice to have you, bro.
Thank you.
On such a beautiful day in Hawksworth, thank you very much for joining me in Hawksworth Wood. I was going to get together with you at Hawksworth Skate Park, but as I predicted, there were shed loads of kids there, and blurring out their faces in AI wasn't the one. Brother, I've got it written down on my hand. 16th of July, 2024, you added me on Instagram, less than a year ago now. And I, as I always do with people who add me, I didn't follow back, and I sent a message going, listen to my music, who are you? And you turned up to our WY Wednesday night, the day after that, and you had a beat. You made a beat for the thing. There was a beat cipher. You did that, and it was sick. And as soon as I started listening, I was like, who the fuck is this guy, and why have I never heard of him before? And bro, I've got to be honest, just these last few months, this last nearly a year of getting to know you, it has been a whole experience of just like, shit, we might be in the presence of one of the most talented people in West Yorkshire right now. That's how I feel. It's blowing your head up a bit, but it's totally how I feel about it. And yeah, it's an honour to have you on, so big the fuck up, man.
Thank you very much.
You were born, when the fuck were you born?
I was born in 2006.
Disgusting. You're still saying feels like you've been saying you're 18 forever. When are you 19?
I'm 19 in May, 29th of May, exactly. 29th
of May, so this will be out before you're even 19, so we'll get this in before you even, can get paid more legally. Bro, what the fuck? Because most people, I'm like, what's your origin story? And we go back to, well, when I was 18, blah, blah, blah. But you seem to have been making music for at least, SoundCloud goes back to about 4 years. That puts you to about 15, 16. What's the journey, man? Because you're from, you Hawksworth, born and bred. What's the crack?
Born and bred.
Talk to me about the journey of music for your good self, man. Where did it all start out for you?
Year 3 in primary school.
Love it.
I must have been what, 8 or 9? I don't remember. And I loved to sing. I was a singer. I wanted to sing.
Yeah.
So what I'd do was to get attention from people. At the end of the class, like, I'd ask one of the teachers, "Can I sing a song?"
Why does this not surprise me?
And with no backing track, no music, I would bring out a sheet of paper with some lyrics that I wrote and a tune in my head, and I just went right for it, and I just started singing in the front of everyone. just for the sake of it.
So you were already writing lyrics primary school year 3?
Yes.
And what were they? So you were belting out in class. What sort of content were you talking about?
I genuinely don't remember. I've blocked out so much of my.
And what was the
childhood
response
history.
from your primary? Because, like, I mean, primary school, I think you can get away with kind of being cute and ridiculous, but in middle school, everyone's got their head down because in case everyone takes the piss. But what was the response to you standing up and singing in front of class?
I think they just didn't care.
Right.
And that's kind of been the response I've always gotten, like, not.
Nonchalance.
Just, yeah, and I'm just like, all right.
You okay with nonchalance?
Oh, completely.
I
live
would
in
say
nonchalance.
I've seen people react to you initially with nonchalance, and then the same people months down the line going, "Oh, actually, this guy is actually sick. I'm just gonna watch this guy right quick," because it is that level. What? How does a year 3 primary school get into writing? What have you got a really musical background? Was your folks playing it all the time?
No.
Right.
My father was a taxi driver.
Nice.
My mother used to sing sometimes, but like never, like more of a party trick than a career. You know what I mean?
She's a good singer though.
Yeah, I still
Decent.
need to get her on a song.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
I'm gonna. It's gonna happen.
Nice.
Anyway,
if she's watching.
yeah, unlikely. I actually know exactly where she is right now. She'll be laying down in bed watching Virgin Media, like all like the things that come up like on the like little TV box.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Is that a satisfying watch? There's so much out there to watch.
I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Fair
There's
dues.
always some new movie. I heard her watching Bloomin' Finding Nemo the other day.
Nice. It's a good life for some, man. Fucking
Yeah.
hell. So primary school singing in front of class. How did that develop in terms of like instruments and stuff? Because you play everything. You seem to play everything. Tell me more about the musical journey from year 3 primary school belting out in class.
So let's travel about 4 years in the future.
Yeah.
It's year 7.
Yeah.
I had to do the maths.
Nice.
And I watched the movie Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Banger.
My mind was like, whoa,
Yeah, yeah.
music. Then obviously I was like, bass. Let me get some bass. Let me get bass on it.
Yeah.
And the moment that I started playing bass, I maybe watched a couple videos. I was like, learn how to play this.
Oh really? It's
And
just YouTube videos.
And I just hacked at it.
Sick.
And then maybe not even a month in, I started uploading to now a defunct YouTube account called Frick. And I would just sing my own songs with no idea what I was doing.
Over bass.
Over bass.
Where did you get the bass from? Did you just get it from a
Gearformusic.com.
classic? Nice.
Love that place.
Cheap 80 quid bass or something
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
You just taught yourself from YouTube videos. Amazing. So, and the same thing applied with. Hold on, frick on YouTube.
Yes.
So, what was that? Was there any response to that? Did you show anyone it, or was it just for you to have your videos?
It was just on YouTube
Yeah.
for anyone to see.
Yeah. Did anyone see it?
My old friend Molly must have seen a lot of them, and I think she was like quite supportive, being a really good friend. And then probably a couple family members.
Yeah,
and this and
yeah,
that.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
the most I got was like 20 views.
Nice.
Because the picture that I used for the song was a picture of some streetlights, and the song was called Streetlights.
Nice.
And I think everybody must have thought, oh, it must be a video about him talking about streetlights.
Nice.
It was not. it was like, I still remember the tune. It's like, every day and every night, I want to see all them streetlights. And I was,
And you were putting on a country accent?
no, that's just the way my brain remembers it. I'm sure I was just yelling it at the top of my lungs in my tiny house, just
Right.
like annoying everyone.
So, what followed frick?
Frick. That was, I must have been, 11, 12?
Man,
We skipped 2 years to 2020.
nice. Banging COVID, right?
Just got to make you feel old.
Because, of course, you were 13 in COVID.
Yes, I was
Nice.
13 when it
Jesus
started.
Christ.
And that's when I'd been playing a lot of video games.
Right?
I've been playing a lot of Counter-Strike.
Classic.
Shooting everyone.
Yeah.
I was really good. I'm not. I suck. And they added this update where you would, at the end of a game, it would give you a title. Maybe you'd be the colonel if you killed the most chickens. The fire starter, you did the most fire damage. The weapons master, if you killed the most if you used the most weapons to kill people.
Yeah, I get you.
And I got the Dinkmaster,
What does that refer to then?
the most headshots.
The Dinkmaster is the most headshots.
So
So it's a Counter-Strike reference, your name.
yes. Now then, from the Dinkmaster, I put that as my Steam name, and I screenshotted it and just put the Dinkmaster on everything because I thought it was really funny.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And then I started releasing music. I was like, I made a SoundCloud and everything and a YouTube.
Yeah, 2021 probably.
No, 2020, still 2020.
2020, the
February
SoundCloud.
2020.
Oh, you
the
remember.
14th. I
Right.
remember because I asked somebody out the same day and got horribly
Valentine's.
rejected.
Oh no.
I didn't even realise it was Valentine's. You're right.
Yeah, 14th of Feb, yeah.
Oh,
You got rejected on Valentine's Day, bro.
I did.
It was COVID though, so like maybe they knew what was coming.
yeah, I wouldn't want to be stuck with me either.
At 13, no.
So definitely not. Look like this.
Yeah, these are face to remember, to be fair.
True, but I then
SoundCloud.
So SoundCloud,
Word.
and I took a screenshot of a GIF of Toad from Mario.
Yep.
Screaming,
Yep.
and then I just wrote The Dinkmaster on MS Paint,
Nice.
and I dropped a 5-track The Dinkmaster EP
Right.
on February the 14th, 2020,
So that was the first ever Dinkmaster release.
and it was horrible.
I bet it was, bro. But at the same time, I don't even think I had anything going. I was probably singing in front of primary schools at 30. Doing it at that age.
Yeah.
Probably the level I was at. What were you? Talk to me about the recording process of a 13-year-old who manages to put out a 5-track EP. What was the? Were you producing? What was
I
the?
was producing it all. I was recording bass through a really crappy amp and a microphone that was about 15 quid.
And what software were you producing?
I was using a demo version of FL,
Yeah, nice.
but I didn't know how to export.
Nice.
So what I would do was I would bring up OBS
Right.
and screen record it.
Nice.
So which would also sort of double as a music video.
Yeah. I like it. I like it. Yeah. Yeah.
And it would be the most low quality. And I mixed all of like the recording parts because I didn't know how to put them into FL.
Right.
I would mix all my recordings through like a video editor. And it sounded like it.
Through a video editor. Man, you were making do though, and I like the fact that you were making do. I like the fact the name's off Counter-Strike. I like the fact that you're having to record it onto another thing just to make it work. Man, that's crazy.
I fought for it. I really did.
Yeah, damn right you did. So, how did that 5-track? Were you trying to shot that round to people?
I did really like fight for it and like make sure everyone knew like, yo, look at me, I'm the Dinkmaster.
Yeah.
Because I was like taking the piss out of it at the time, but like, yo, yeah, everybody look at me. Ooh, perfect, I'm the best. And
How did that go down?
I got one compliment.
Oh, nice.
My old friend Jimmy North said, I'll say that because that's his music name as well. I'm not just like going, yeah, this guy.
Steve
No,
Bryson.
he's a beautiful musician.
Jimmy North.
Jimmy North.
Right.
Just from Orsaf as well.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. And I think he's in Liverpool now.
Right.
He just said, yo, is like using a video editor a good idea to master? And I didn't know what a master was.
Right.
So I was like, yes!
Of course it is.
Yes,
Brilliant.
it's the best way. It's exactly what all the professionals do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Timberland, back with his, impressive streak of music back in the 2000s. He was like, pull up Adobe. It's time to get this going. Yeah.
Master the shit out of this in Premiere Pro.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice. Fair. Frig. 13 years old, shotting out albums and stuff. That's mental. You're has it just been work since then? I get the impression that you just cannot stop making music or being involved in just producing, writing, recording, faffing. Everything you've put out, even up until late, has a feel of something that's really raw and creative and sort of made in a moment and not obsessed about over massive periods of times, just sort of obsessed about in the moment that it was being made. Is that reasonable to say?
Yes, that is incredibly reasonable.
Fair play. What were the moves after this 5-track? Were you like, oh, I got one compliment from Jimmy North? What were you like? What was the move to carry on making and stuff? Because you made fucking
make
loads
more.
after that.
It was just more. And I remember I didn't release very frequently at the time.
Right.
I just joined a couple Discord servers, slowly learned my instrument being, production. I see it as an instrument.
Yeah, it is.
I feel like it is. And I just really hacked at it for a while.
Yeah.
And then I made a rap group with a couple of friends from high school.
And I feel like I've seen a picture of the three of you on your SoundCloud. What was the rap group called?
The Fuckaroos.
The Fuckaroos. Nice. What year was this at school?
This must have been 2021.
Right.
We were all 15.
Nice.
And I just was like, yo, come over. I've got a microphone. Let's just take piss. They were all freestyling.
Sick.
I was rapping with an American accent because I'd been influenced by New York hip hop and nothing else.
Yeah.
And it was possibly the worst thing. I don't have access to the account. I can't delete any of
Can't
it.
delete it off SoundCloud.
And there's some bad things said in there. I didn't say anything bad.
yeah.
But
it's
there's
just
some
the context, the content.
There's never anything horrible.
Right,
But
good.
like, you could tell it was made by 15-year-old boys in one bedroom.
Do those guys still rap? Or do they?
None of them.
But they were just faffing around at school
They,
and you
they were
do
just
it.
faffing around, yeah. They're all in different places now.
Were you the catalyst for getting all that
Yes.
started, I
Yeah,
assume?
yeah, I was-
Bro, let's just rewind a little bit because you just said like you had a bit of an American accent and you were influenced by hip hop. Where did music listening come in? Where did that start with you then?
I remember watching a video on YouTube about white rappers and hip hop, and me being like 13 at the time. This is like after I'd started making.
So
the
you'd already
Dinkmaster.
put your 5-track out?
Yeah, yeah.
So
I
you've not
remember-
really listened to much hip hop
Not
before
at
that
all.
5-track?
Not
my
at
God.
all. It was like rock. It was.
Oh, it was a rocky kind
I
of
was like
sounding
singing
album.
everything. Yeah,
Dope.
and I still remember watching that video and going, LP, Run the Jewels.
Ah.
He's a white guy.
Yeah.
So I listened to one of his solo songs. It was the full. I can't say that word. And I remember listening to it and go, "What the fuck is this?" Wait, can I say? Can I swear?
You can say fuck yeah.
Yay! And yeah, I remember listening to that track and just going, "This is the worst thing I've ever heard."
Right.
So it's like just left it for a while.
You listened to Run the Jewels and said
then
this is the worst thing
No,
you've ever
no, I
heard.
listened to LP's solo stuff first,
Right,
which
fair.
is where the
Mad shit.
problem was.
Got you.
And then about a month later, I'd say, Run the Jewels 4 came out, and
Right.
it somehow popped up on my radar. So I
Yeah.
gave it a listen. I was like, ooh, ooh, yes. And I just started blasting through their entire discography.
Sick.
And by then it was too late for me.
Right.
It was all New York, Danny Brown,
Ah, nice.
Black Thought, The Roots,
Dope.
all of it. Give me all of it.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I just
yeah.
took it all in and just listened to the hell out of it.
Nice. So do you feel there was a transition point where you were like, you'd gone from that kind of rocky feel to like, well, I just want to make hip hop then?
There's never been a transition. I still do both.
I agree, yeah.
And like,
What's your rock influence? Talk me.
Oh.
How'd you get into that? Must have been well earlier than if you were already writing that at 13.
yeah.
And who got you into all that stuff?
oh, it's definitely my older brother.
Oh,
I
you
mean,
didn't know you had one. Nice.
I've got multiple.
Multiple older
no,
brothers.
two.
Older brothers. Are they musicians as well?
One of them.
Yeah.
My older brother Henry, who every time we were in the car driving somewhere, maybe to me dad's or this or that,
Yep.
he would always put on some like alternative metal.
Dope.
You know, some System, some Evans Blue, some Breaking Benjamin,
Yep.
some, you know, like that. I hate everything.
Yeah,
music.
But
And
they're usually a bit more melodic, that stuff as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
like,
exactly,
Has, like
yeah,
strong
yeah.
singing lines.
Yeah,
right,
like I'm so hating everything.
yeah, fully. That
Yeah,
sounds like
yeah,
every
yeah.
System song, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then it'll go into like a rant about like politics,
Yeah.
like the Arabians and the Armenians are getting genocide, and like, and then I'm the Bubble Man. Yeah, son, you're the Bubble Man. I love the Bubble Man. But yeah,
So your brother's got you into that shit, though.
my brother completely just played it all in the car.
Dope.
It just wiped off onto me.
Nice, nice. Okay, so you've had that rock and that hip hop thing. So the Run the Jewels and etc. and got you into hip hop.
Yep.
So what was the first Dinkmaster hip hop release? Would you say?
It was on the second EP. It was a 6-track.
What year was that?
Same year.
2020?
It would have been April 1st I released it.
Right,
So
so
about a
2
month and a half.
Fucking hell.
And I started
you move
listening
so quick
to
on influences, man.
and
Jeez.
I started listening to hip hop.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh. So I immediately ripped off some Rage Against the Machine bars a little bit.
Right.
But mostly wrote it myself.
Yep.
And I remember sampling a song by Them Crooked Vultures, the supergroup with Dave Grohl, Josh Homme of Queens of the Stone Age, and John Paul Jones.
Yep.
I remember the first track on that, first song, the drum loop is incredible. It's just boom, boom, boom. And I was like, whoa. I was like, let me use that.
Tear that off.
So, what?
Well, you're going to take that off.
Yeah, yoinked it. And then I was like, well, I need another sample. You can't have a hip hop track with one sample. So I searched up on a BPM key finding website for songs that were exactly the same BPM.
Right.
And I found an acoustic guitar song, and I just like took this absolutely crap like acoustic guitar sample and just looped it over, not in FL Studio because I didn't know how to bring the files into the.
Yeah.
So I did it all in a video editor.
Fucking video editor.
And I just looped this like really poorly chopped and sampled like loop. and just kept it running while I was rapping like this.
Yeah,
like,
still got the weird
yeah,
accent. at
like
this
I'm
point.
like I'm like this, and then I'm out here, and I'm over there, and I'm all year. And it was devastating.
Well,
The game has never been the same.
no, well, true. When did the American accent leave and why? Because obviously your current stuff is
Very British.
very you. Well, it's just you. Sounds like you.
Yeah, true.
When did you make that switch? Did anyone say anything? Because I actually started an American accent and someone kind of said something to me. Basically, took me to one side and said, you know, drop that shit. But I was your age.
Yeah. Well, I didn't grow out of it for a while. I mean, it must have been, I'd say 2022, like October 2022, I dropped a mixtape called Litterbug.
Yeah.
It was just chock full of samples, like 18 tracks. Really bad. And and that was like the last time I'd really been rapping with an American accent. Some of the tracks, I'll have an American accent.
Yeah.
And then the next one, I'll be like, yo. And I was putting on a fake British accent because I didn't
amazing.
know my own accent.
Nice.
I had to relearn how to speak British.
It's funny, innit? It's a weird feeling.
Oh, it was. Ugh. But I'd say around 2023, early 2023. So I must have been, 16?
Yep.
That's when I fully got into it and finally found myself.
Yeah.
And stopped being American.
Nice. It seems like the sound did kind of begin from there, and there's a spate of releases 2023, like 3 deluxe versions of albums that I've seen on Spotify for starters that kind of happened around there. Maybe only 2, I can't remember, but maybe one's the other side. But
it would have been 2 that year.
yeah, there's the first one I saw. I know you don't really like talking about Spotify too much because you think it's the devil,
It is
and I
evil.
totally back that.
I need
But
money.
it's one of the very few ways to
Interact with artists.
Yeah, that's that, and that's how everyone's doing it. And also, people take a lot of weight on that Spotify artists, how many listens and all the rest of it. Hard Times, is it? That's on there was one of the first.
Hard Times.
Is it Hard Times?
I
Big
do not-
Plans.
Big Plans.
Hard Times.
Well, because I removed a lot of releases. I started releasing on Spotify in 2021.
Right.
Like May, and I remember starting with this track called You Fool. And my entire process when I was releasing was like, I'm just going to release something every month
Nice.
on the 20th. Every month until I can't no more. So for about a year straight, I released 10 5-track EPs, including a couple which were like full-length albums.
Yeah.
Every month.
On the 20th.
On the 20th, I
Bananas.
released around 60 to 70 songs in 10 months.
A streak which only came to an end in the last couple of months, right?
Yes, I didn't even really stop it. I've just started uploading them to like an alt account on SoundCloud because
Dope.
I need to slow down. My process has slowed down a little bit.
Interesting.
And I want to take more time with my music.
Yeah.
So that way, when I release something, it sounds more polished. And not even polished per se, but I just don't want to release something and go, oh, why'd I release that?
Interesting, because you slated your stuff when you were 13, you slated your stuff when you were 15. Is there a point in your listener, or is it when you were 16 where you're like, okay, stuff after 16, actually this is dope, to you being 16, I mean.
Exactly, yeah.
So when you found your voice, you can listen back to that stuff and not like die of cringe, is it?
I only half die of cringe.
Only half die of
When
cringe.
I turned 17, that's when it got good. That's when I was like 100%, I'm down with this.
Is there
I
nothing
rocked
you've
it.
cringed at from the last year or two then?
Oh, I've still cringed at it. I cringed at when people tell me, oh yeah, I really like How to Start a Fire, your new track. And I'm like, why?
Why do you like that,
There were
dickhead?
so many beat cuts. There's no reason. Like,
It's dope.
I do like a beat
Yeah, of
cut.
course you do.
It's a beautiful thing. But yeah, I mean, the cringe has never gone away. I've always been cringing, but it's just only more recently have I been able to look back and go like, yeah, some of this is okay.
What is that cringe factor? I get it as well for myself. Sometimes I'll listen to stuff that I'll feel one day and I'm not feeling the next. Like I'm having to put a set together for a gig this Sunday, and like I was looking at some of my tracks on Tuesday to like decide what, and I was like, I'm whack. This is shit. Fuck this. Day after, I'm like, these are dope. I'm amazing. You know what I mean, I seem to vary in that. Is it a similar feeling for you?
Oh,
or,
completely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just You just catch yourself in moments, don't you, where you're just like, this is all shit, actually, but it doesn't have any credence. But also, there's a correct voice somewhere in that negativity where it's like, actually, if I'd have done it this way or done that way, maybe it would have been better or whatever. But sorry, like coming back to Big Plans, that was like one of the earlier ones that's still on Spotify now. I'm just going to go into it.
Okay.
Your Spotify monthly playlists, your Spotify monthly listens are fucking dope. And I don't really understand it considering sort of where you are, how old you are, how long you've been doing it. But not that I'm complaining. I think it's great. And in particular, Big Plans had 125,000 plays. Talk to me how the fuck that came about.
I'm really mad about it because I hate the song.
Fair enough.
But
yeah.
It just, I think it was one of those things. I remember I listened to that song on Spotify because at the time when I made it, I was like, yes, this is the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah. Don't tell me you did the 125,000 plays. I don't want to hear it.
I didn't do 125 plays. I did maybe 200.
200.
And for some reason, the algorithm just sort of started picking it up. I checked my Spotify for artists one day and it said, oh yeah, you're in the radio. Yeah, you got 20 plays. And then 20 became 30.
Right.
40, 50, 60. And then now, I mean, if I'm looking at my stats, I get about, I want to say 2,000, 3,000 plays off of radio like a month.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm still like, what?
And
Why?
it's just because you kind of put it out into the ether and that was that really.
Yeah,
and played
I think
a
it was because I played my own song like way too many times.
They probably adjusted for that. At the time you done that, I know there were bands like Wolfpack who did like a whole silent album. Sleepify, well remembered, yeah. So and Spotify had to change the whole procedure because they just had their fans listening to it on repeat to make enough money so they could go on tour. Genius, but obviously something that got shut down.
Yeah.
And it's probably similar if you listen to at a time, if you listen to your stuff over and over, it would go, oh, this is getting listened to a lot. We should probably send this to more people. And the algorithm worked in the favor of the independent artist. They've obviously stopped that fucking now, which is a shame, man. Absolute bastards. Not that your other stuff doesn't get good plays and good listens.
Yeah, it just sort of sprinkles out, I think.
100%. Mate, so when I first, when you messaged me in July last year and I started listening to your music, I was drawn into loads of it. I love how eclectic it is, how interesting it is, how it's like almost ADHD music because there seems to be so many changes and so much to keep you interested. It's not just like 6 minutes of a 1 bar loop, you know what I mean, going round. It's like things will change all the time. Time is Money, I think still sits as my absolute favourite, although there are plenty of other dope ones. But there's something about that Time is Money, it just captures a vibe. It captures a vibe of you, but also seems to capture a vibe of hip hop, a really Tribe Called Quest era, Far Side era level of hip hop, without copying it, without even going, this is boom bap, but with your own style on it. And mate, you must be fucking well proud of that. That must not be a cringe track. Like,
yeah, that's one of the ones where I listen back and I go, yes,
smashed it,
because everything's on point. It's not a braggadocious song. Because you know when you listen back to your braggy songs and you're like, I'm rapping about how good I rap, and it's just like, now, it's about something that is true to my soul.
Yeah.
I mean, and then I got my friend on it, so I can go, my friend's on it.
Yeah.
And it's just when I listen to that, it's a very good feel vibe and everything about it.
Yeah.
It was made in a place where I was happy.
Yeah.
But I was also, willing to say, admit my faults almost.
Sick.
So I'm really happy with that track.
You should be, man. Friggin' hell. So, prior to us meeting then in July, what were because what had you done in the scene? Had you done any gigs?
Nope.
Had you done any open mics and shit?
I've done a lot of open mics.
So when did you start working your way around IRL situations?
Literally, for the most part, when I got to that WY at Melody 71.
Sick.
Yeah, WY Wednesdays
Word.
at Melody. And that was like the jumping off point. I was like, oh, okay. This XP.Ben guy, he knows all the people.
I do.
So I looked through your follows list.
Yeah, you're damn right. Him and him.
Ooh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's a gig going on there. And I just started going to everything.
Sick.
And I'm shout out First Bus for the weekly week riders.
Yeah.
Where you pay like what? It's 20 quid. It's some
20 quid and you just go anywhere in Leeds.
Anywhere.
Perfect.
Anywhere. And
so you were up and down everywhere, Chapeltown and the locks. I remember you popped into, what was that night
Hip Hop
called?
Wednesdays.
Hip Hop Wednesdays that it was called for a bit. It's called Our Local Jam or something now, isn't it? Yeah. Were there any, we'll go into that, but were there any before the WY Wednesday that you first came to, had you gone out in real life and done much?
I'd done some open mics.
Yeah,
I remember I did one in Kirkstall, Open Source Arts. Do you know Dan Opposite? It's like a hip hop duo.
I've seen the name.
Yeah, this like a hip hop duo, like electronic, and like the rapper of the duo is named like Daniel, and he runs this like zine. They call it a zine, not a magazine, a zine.
Yeah, I know a zine. Yeah.
And it's called NSFW Club. And they did this. They did an open mic, and they had a specific theme being bring your unfinished stuff, and me being the king of unfinished projects.
You're the guy.
I was like, right, well,
I'll just open my video editor.
just
See what we
no, this was after the video editor
Oh,
when
sick.
I'd learned FL. This was like late 2023.
Sick.
And I just went and I brought a bunch of tracks that are now on Pure Copper or even later projects.
Yeah.
And I just started
performing
going to
them.
as many open mics as I could, just banging them all out.
Yep.
And just like getting as much feedback as possible.
Yeah,
That's always been how I've like crafted my sound.
Yeah.
I've done really stupid, weird songs.
Yep.
And then I've asked, so how does that feel?
What do you feel about that?
Yeah, how is that?
How do you feel about people reacting in a negative way or worse, a nonchalant way to that?
I love it.
Do you?
I genuinely love
Do you
when
like-
people hate my music.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, because that means I know that my music is doing something.
Art is meant to make you feel
Yeah,
something,
to
even
el-
if it's
to
to hate
elicit
it.
a response is
Yeah.
the main thing. And when people hate it, they've listened to it. I on my alt account on SoundCloud, there is somebody who went through every single song and commented halfway through, "Come to Manchester, come to Arndale Centre, I'm going to scrap you." Every song, right in the middle of every song. He had to have listened to every song. My alt account has hyperpop on it.
Why
and
was
not
he going
just
to crack? Why was he going to scrap you?
I don't know.
Are we calling him out? What the
I think it was Discord beef. I don't know if you know what Discord is.
I know what Discord
Okay.
is, but you're on a server on that. You were on
I
a
was
server.
I was on some servers, I was talking to people, doing my music thing on there, streaming on the voice chats, like,
Yeah.
yo, this is what I'm working on. Let me hear you. Oh, dude, that's sick. Get on that. And then
You must have told someone who was a bit shit then from Arndale Centre.
they probably deserved it.
Yeah.
like in no uncertain terms, if I say something is bad, that's because I mean it. And that doesn't mean I think the person's bad.
No, of course.
Or that this is bad. Or that the song is not got any potential.
100%.
And I know when I listen to something, I'm one view. So, and I try to tell people when I say something about a song, I am just one guy. And I'm not going to go, oh, yeah, I can hear how. No, I'm going to tell you what I think.
Yeah,
And I'll
yeah.
let somebody else hear how it could be good.
It's a difficult one, and some people just don't want that feedback.
Yeah.
Everyone just wants fire emojis in their comments
Mm.
and to move on with their life, I think. But I've got to be honest, I'll hold my hands up and probably say I don't really welcome negative criticism
Mm.
at where I'm at. Unless I was like round my boy's house playing a unmixed, unfinished track and I'm like, what do you think? And if he's like, I'm not really feeling that, I'm not going to get butthurt, I'm going to take that as thing. But if I'm like putting my music out into the world and there's a negative criticism to it, I don't go, oh, at least they listen to it. I go, oh, I'll kill myself. I get really negative about it.
There's always a sense of that. But I think I live every single day like I'm about to die.
Really?
Well, not exactly. I'm not doing drugs. But
No.
I think...
You're living in the moment. Like,
Yeah,
you wanna
for
get
the
the
most
out of it.
part. So when somebody goes, oh, this is really crap, I already want to kill myself. It's fine.
Oh, mate.
We'll just get on with it.
Fair.
I haven't done it yet. I'm fine.
No,
don't worry.
do that shit,
Don't worry.
man. Jesus
I'll
Christ.
I'll live.
Is it as deep as all that? Because you do seem like an outgoing, extremely confident in some ways, dude. And but is there a lot bubbling under the surface of
there's-
like negativity?
there's-
Do you beat yourself up a lot?
I am the most negative person you will ever meet.
that
Lay
is
your
so
eyes on.
surprising to hear,
I am
and such a shame.
maybe, but I think I try to use it in a positive way.
Word.
Because there are people that I do listen to and I go, oh, I really like. Or for example, at the Jamatoni WY ciphers.
Yeah.
When I go there, like I know that when I look back, I go, oh, I was really trying to command the room a bit too much there.
It's necessary though.
But that's the thing. Yeah, I go, okay, this is a little bit. Let's. Not necessarily that anyone's rapping bad, but I'm just going, okay, you've been rapping for 64 bars.
Yeah.
Let's get a hook in there.
100%. Mate, you're yes-anding in an improvised way. I don't know whether that's something you've learned from open mics or just something that was already naturally part of you, but you have such a yes-and attitude to making music. And in those you're the perfect guy for those freestyles we've been putting on, because you will just flip an idea, or someone will say something and you might make it into a chorus, or you'll make it into your own chorus, or there's a situation going on. Literally, one that's due to come out is Doberman untangling some mics. You started a whole chorus about him untangling mics. It seemed like a stupid, jokey thing that we'd do for a minute and a half. That turned into a chorus, and everyone did a verse untangling the
yeah.
mics. And it just... sick shit like that is so necessary in that, because we can pass it to this guy and he'll spit his fucking 18 and sick whatever, and next guy, or keep it to an 8 or whatever, but it's so necessary to have something to latch back onto. And I think you do seem like the king of the hook, king of the chorus, man. Like,
I mean, you say that, but then when I do my own tracks, I don't do choruses very often.
I think you do, man. I think
I
you do.
sample- I
Or you
sample a
have
lot for
mid-8.
choruses.
I tell you what you do bridges and hooks, so you might not
Yeah.
even come back to the chorus idea, but you'll have a you'll have a break.
Yeah.
You'll give the listener a break
Yeah.
from you just rapping and do something different, or
Yeah.
even it's really necessary for your ears, and I think that's why your music sounds the way it does. Like, I just want to rewind back because I didn't cover off how we did finish working with the video editing software and move into the big leagues of. What was the process for that of moving away from that?
I think it changed. It all changed when I learned two things about FL, and that was how to click export. And
You literally could have done it the whole time, and it's nice.
I never knew. It was that. And it was
Brilliant.
it was that, and it was pulling up samples onto FL.
Right.
Once I'd gotten an audio file onto FL, I was like, it's over for everyone.
Right.
I remember the first song that I sampled. It was Epic by Faith No More.
Right.
Like
Done.
in that way. Obviously, I sampled a couple tracks before that.
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
Epic by Faith No More, I found an a cappella version of it. And I just took, and you will never understand it because it happens too fast.
Yeah.
And I just took that and just looped it and just put bunch of synths on there. I think it's still on my SoundCloud as of today.
Nice.
If you scroll to the very first track that still remains,
Yeah.
you'll just hear, and you'll never understand it because it happens too fast. And it is, you know what? To this day, it is such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I listen to it and I just laugh.
Nice.
And I can't understand it. It happened too fast.
Yeah.
It's also a sort of reminder in a way. It's like I will never really. I hope that people don't understand me in a way.
Yeah.
I want everything I do to happen fast. I want it to be in the moment. I want it to flash out, and I want it to just be like, wow.
Yeah.
happen.
Is that why you put fucking major projects out and then major projects out and then and that you don't give anyone time to like pivot and form an opinion of you because they're almost onto the next thing. Like, crazy. So are you Fruity Loops for life now? Is that your main production software? Mastering in there?
Yep, completely everything.
Nice.
Which is a bit lazy. I should learn Ableton for like vocal production and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't want to export a beat to record vocals over it.
Yeah,
I prefer to record the vocals with all the layers of the beat, not stems, just like the whole thing.
Yep.
So that way I can more fine-tune the beat to the vocals and what needs to happen.
Do you record into there as well then?
Yeah.
Sick as hell, man. That's dope. What was I which way should we go? Continuing with the live stuff. So with the open mics and stuff, you just throwing yourself at all sorts of bits and pieces with that.
Yeah.
And you were getting your criticism and that was, so if you got your negative, so if you got criticism full stop with negative or positive, would that, you'd take that back and do something different with it? Or would it just sort of sit in your head and ruminate?
It was a ruminate situation.
Yeah,
I would just let it simmer and figure out like over time. Like, it was never a sort of thing where I'd go, oh yeah, somebody said they really like this, let me replicate that, or somebody hate this, let me avoid that.
That was what I was going to say. So if anyone's been negative about a certain aspect of you, the way your production was or something, you've never then remade something a bit similar and then gone, oh, I can't do that because Jeff said it was shit.
No, nothing like that.
Let it
if
get
I think
into your
it's
head,
dope,
like-
at the end of the day, I am going to release it.
Yeah.
But what I think is dope is moldable and is changeable.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was making stuff that I listen to now and go, oh, that's bad.
Right.
I was like really in the moment and I loved it. So I know for a fact that I can take what I've made, can tweak it towards maybe a more suitable ear, and still love it just the same.
Nice.
So to me, it's I've just let the criticism ruminate.
Word.
Let the positivity ruminate. And just take it from there.
I have this. You might not want to talk about this, so we'll
Go
allow
right
it if
ahead.
not. But so I have different ears depending on my state of mind, and a lot of the times that I've written my albums, they'll be late at night and I've had a joint. And do you smoke weed and do you drink? So you don't. So you're never on drugs. So you're always fully sober with
completely
everything that you
sober.
do.
Yeah.
There you go. Fair
But
enough.
autism is enough.
What is it? So what you got autism then? Yeah.
Yeah, legally diagnosed fully. When I was
Diagnosed. 16,
that's real autism. That's
proper
not
autism, man.
That's not like excited 6-year-old screaming in a skate park. That was me.
Yeah. Does that come with some ADHD?
I think they're very overlappable. I think when I see people with, some sort of neurodivergency strive for multiple diagnoses, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
They're so the same. But not that they're the same, but if I wanted to get an ADHD diagnosis, I could have got it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I wanted an autism diagnosis because that's what I felt when I looked into it. That's what fit me. That's what people always called me, whether jokingly or insultingly or positively.
Yep.
So that's what I identified with, and I went, okay, that's got to be me.
Nice.
And I looked into it.
And that was the case.
Yes.
It's often the way, I mean, a lot of the creatives, I mean, you must hang around people all the time. A lot of people self-diagnose or don't even get to the point. I think a lot of people are a lot on the spectrum. I think artists are nearly always on the spectrum at some respect, but like, yeah, that's, I mean, it's sick that sometimes it's a blessing and a curse, because I feel the kind of spectrumal position that you're on forces you to be really creative, and that's such a dope thing for you and everyone who gets to listen to your music. So like, in a way, it's like a blessing, but obviously it must be a bastard at times, isn't it? Like, live bits and pieces. I also saw that you ended up doing a bit of comedy stuff, or you did it at comedy nights. How did that work? Were you like freestyling at comedy nights, or doing a set, or what were you doing?
Well, it's the weirdest thing. I bumped in to this open mic. Like, literally, the first open mic, when you type in Leeds open mic on Instagram, is called Leeds open mic.
Nice, course.
And it's run by this lovely lady named Katie. She's always wearing pink. Very, very welcoming, very warm person.
Sweet.
And it was a comedy open mic, but I didn't realise.
Oh no, so you just went down.
So I just went down.
Hey guys.
And there was one or two musicians. I saw a band play there once.
Sick.
And I just performed there. And just, I
did you set? Just did a few tracks on that?
A 15-minute set, which is really good for an open mic. So I came back quite a bit, to really flex my chops and, work on this and that, work on my crowd work, especially because at a comedy night, you need a lot of crowd work. So it was the same thing.
Yeah.
And from there, I'm there one night, and there's this guy comes on called Billy Price. Hilarious guy, got this leather jacket on, saying some really messed up stuff.
Yeah.
And then, after that I go, hey, nice set. That's it. And then a couple months later, I'm outside again, and there's this other comedian named Harry. Don't know his last name. Nobody does. He's just Harry.
Right.
And he's like, yo, that was really funny, man. And he talks just like that. He's like, yeah, man. You're right, man. That was really funny. Yeah, that was really good. Actually, there's this thing called Fruity Dog Friday. And like me and like this guy named Billy Price, we run it. Yeah.
It's a great impression by the sounds of it.
Yeah, he's a beautiful teddy bear of a man. He's great, and he's always like willing to have a laugh. And it's, of course, he's a comedian. But so these two, Billy Price and this Harry, they're running a comedy night, and they're like, "Yo, I see you rap. Like, it's quite funny. Do you wanna do some rapping on one of our things?" So I'm like, yeah, of course.
Sick.
I got no what to do on a Friday. There's no open mics. There's no this. There's no that. It's a Friday.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to, go to a bar or something and, have a nice time.
Yep.
So I was like, of course I'd go.
Yeah.
And from there, they would just get on a couple of comedians who had a couple like lyrics or something, and I would get a beat off of my MP3 player. I'd just plug it into the soundboard, and we just rap for like 2 or 3 minutes after the end of like everyone's done their comedy sets.
Yeah.
And we just do a quick cypher.
Just freestyling?
No.
Okay.
No, none of them were freestyling.
Okay.
I've adopted the freestyling because I just want to get better at it.
100%,
I love freestyling,
yeah.
and it's so much fun.
Yep.
And also, I just want to be able to say I'm a really good freestyler.
Yeah.
I remember seeing at Hyde Park Book Club on April the 20th. This is going to be out after that.
No, after that, never mind.
Shit.
It was good, dude.
It was
the best gig ever. You should have been there.
I should have been there. I won't be there. Apologies, but I will be in Hyde Park. But it's going to be a thing of I'm going early and I'm handing out a ton of mixtapes.
Oh, right. Sick.
But Fruity Cypher, and we just rattle off some silly bars, get some crowd interaction, and then that'd be it.
Yep.
And then from there, they sort of ran with it. The runners of the night, Billy and Harry, to the point where I host sessions like where I live, in my living room, every Sunday,
right.
And they just start coming, and they start being like, let's listen to some music, let's smoke a joint outside, and let's come up with something.
Yeah.
So it's to the point now where I've made them a theme song.
Yeah.
I've gotten them both to start writing verses.
Amazing.
Because they've already got, the crowd work.
Yeah.
They've already got the microphone presence.
Yeah.
They just need to learn how to spit the bars.
Right.
And
you've been like workshopping with them effectively.
Yes.
Sick.
And so I've just kept bringing more beats to every single night, every month.
Love it.
And we've just been pushing it out and grinding it out and seeing where it goes.
Mate, that's too cool. That's sick.
At some point, I'm gonna have to write a comedy set and let them teach me something.
Yeah,
so.
I think that'd be amazing. Is this the sort of thing you'd be up for doing? Yeah.
Oh, completely. Yeah. And I think with me it'd be quite dynamic because I've seen a lot of comedians who try like mix music and comedy.
Yep.
And they're not very good.
Sometimes no.
Sometimes they're incredible.
I
remember Mo Gilligan at the end of one of his specials. He did like a whole like tribute to garage. And he'd start going like, yeah, I'm the geezer, and like, and it's just wonderful.
Perfect, yeah.
But at the same time, there's a lot of people who get up with a guitar and start singing a song, go, and that's why I fucked a pig in the arse. And as much as I love fucking pigs in the arse,
yeah, we all do, man.
I don't want to hear it in a song. For 3 minutes.
Immediately, as soon as they said "fucked pig in the ass," I laughed, and I think that's what it's that lowest common denominator. It's like, oh, don't be silly, you didn't do that.
Yeah. So I think I could bring something. I could bring like an expertise in music, and I feel like a lot of my music is funny to a certain degree.
There's some funny. A sense of humor running through the whole thing.
Yeah. So I try really like bring. Obviously, I've got a lot of dark songs with like really dark subject matter. But at the same time, I want people to have a little laugh, a little tee-hee, a little ha-ha, a little yippee.
Of course.
So I feel like I could really bring something to that. But
therefore,
we'll have to see.
Mate, I think you'd be fully capable of doing that. You seem like the kind of guy who can just pick anything up and make it work. So I don't see why a stand-up set won't work for you at all, man. Especially if those guys giving you a bit of coaching and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But fundamentally, it's just having the balls to go out. Because a lot of people haven't got the balls to. I mean, myself included, man. I ain't going to all the open mics around town, and I probably would improve my general status or people knowing who the fuck I was if I did. But I'm just like, I don't really want. It's too much effort to have to. Well, every time it's a performance, right, you have to push yourself out of yourself, and that in itself is an effort, never mind going out, and then you're getting criticism, and like it depends how you take the criticism and stuff like that.
And then you have to talk to everyone,
innit?
And everyone. Yeah, I hate talking to people. It's the worst. When you invited me on this, I was like really scared.
Well, I knew you'd be all right because you got a mic, and as soon as you got a mic in your hand, you start performing, and I think that's a really positive thing. So I knew this was going to be all right. But yeah, good point. I've had you in Melody 71 before the things have started and we're setting up, and you're like quiet in a corner, don't want to talk to anyone, head down, or don't worry about me, almost awkward. And you seem like you've got that different personality. I get. Are you slipping into some darkness there, or is it just your way of recharging the batteries?
Charging the batteries. I mean, I think we've talked about this before, but my social battery goes like down in a flash.
Yeah.
So every moment I get where I can just really like lay my head down and just
not have to.
Yeah. Soak in some darkness. I try take the best advantage of.
What do you do to separate yourself from music because you? Or can that be part of it? Can you shut everything off but still be doing the music kind of thing?
I shut everything off and still do the music.
Oh, that's good then.
Like that, but that has to be at home. If I'm like just at somewhere, like waiting for something to happen, I can't really get in a music thing. It has to be, if I'm with people and I'm doing music, I have to be fully switched on.
Got you.
I can't be in between. That's kind of my whole thing. I'm always extreme. So the only way I can really, relax and still do the music stuff is if I'm at home.
Yeah.
And I'm just playing a video game and I'm listening to Black Moth Super Rainbow.
Nice.
And I go, ooh, I like that. Thump. And then, ooh, I like that beat. Ooh, yeah, let me put the drum beat from Funk 49 by James Gang on there. Ooh, let me write something. And then just go right back to playing Bloons Tower Defense or whatever I'm doing. Just like it's nothing.
Sick. Amazing. Nice. That was a lovely little excerpt of the process, man. You are also in a band, I believe.
Yes.
Hog. Lowercase with an exclamation mark.
Thank you for remembering.
Hey, man, no worries. I know a thing or two about getting your fucking name spelt wrong and your crew name spelt wrong. Jamatoni with a single M and two T's. XP with a small X and the rest are capitals. Anyway, tell me about Hog, bro. Is that a couple of mates of yours? And when are we going to see these guys out and about? And what's the music?
Well, we met at a jam night because if you may have noticed, like from basically the second I got on that Jamatoni gig at Hyde Park Book Club, like I immediately gelled with the band. I feel like I did.
You did.
I hope I did.
You were in the pocket, man.
Yeah.
You understand music. You've got a musical brain.
Yeah. So my friend Pablo Saxabar of the band Rookie Numbers introduced me to a bunch of. Hey, don't laugh at him. He's a beautiful person.
That name is fucking unbelievable.
He's
That's
the
why I'm like,
best.
Pablo Saxabar, yeah?
He's the only person who goes harder on a gig than me.
Fair play.
Like,
On the sax.
on the sax and on vocals.
Oh, right.
He's the frontman of a ska band.
Sick.
And it is-
ska bands have got to be full energy.
Yes.
I'd like to see that.
I saw them in Sheffield, and he just
Tore the place apart.
full suit, drenched in sweat.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I could never.
Dry cleaning bills alone.
Oh, gee, I don't even want to think about that. Oh, bills.
So Pablo Saxabar introduced you to
yeah.
some dudes.
Yeah, we met at an open mic. He introduces me to the Fenton Jam Night every
Oh,
Monday
word.
at 8.
Yep.
And I would go, and first time we were there, he was like, yo, play Dinkonomics, man. And I was like, oh, God. So I'm like, okay, hey, bass player, just go bunga gunga gunga gung, bum, bum, ba bum, ba bum, ba bum, bum. And somehow, at about 40 BPM faster than it should have been, I managed to eke out a 140 BPM rendition of Dinkonomics.
Beautiful.
To a absolutely raucous crowd in the lounge of a pub.
Nice.
And from there, I was addicted. I was
Sick.
like, yep, I'm going to every jam night I can.
Nice.
And at this Fenton Jam Night, you meet a lot of characters.
Of course.
And then I met these two lovely people, sort of around the same time, as I was just getting, introduced to that sort of uni student music scene.
Yep.
And I meet Moth playing the drums. They're absolutely like incredible, except for when they're out of time, bastard. And and just hammering it out. And I was like, yeah, I like this person. No, like literally, I like this person. I asked them out.
Yeah. Nice.
And so I get the Instagram. I'm like, okay, cool. I got a drummer. If I ever want a drummer, I got a drummer.
You sorted.
And then I was like, I met this lovely lady named Lilu, this French lady, and she had a very thick French accent. She was like, "Voulez-vous?" And
Fake French
no, very thick.
Oh, thick.
Yeah. And I was like, "Ooh, you play bass?
Oh.
I can play the guitar and sing."
Oh, nice.
So it just started going
Cogs
around in my
started
head.
whirring, yeah.
All those old high school thoughts about, I'm going to do a band because I'm that cool guy.
Is this the first band, effectively? Or
Yes.
there was never
Yes.
school bands?
There was, other than
Apart
the
from crew.
Fuckaroos.
Apart from of course, rest in peace, the Fuckaroos.
Rest in peace. They're never coming back. It'll never happen. If it does, we're gonna have to shoot out different members. But,
Yeah. So yeah, the three of you.
Yeah, so Hog, and we start getting it together. We do a couple, just me and Moth. We just start jamming it out together, and we're like, yeah, right. Let's get Lilu in on this.
Yep.
Lilu comes. It's beautiful. We're gelling.
Yep.
She texts me. Oh yeah, I'm French, so I can't live here.
Oh fuck.
And I go, shit.
Oh no.
So reluctantly,
Fucking
and
Brexit.
it was like almost we were fighting both sides of the argument together, where it was like, we need to get you out of the band, or do we keep you in the band and work around it? And we ended up on the side of kicking her out, sadly.
Right, that's
I'm
a
still
shame.
great friends with her.
Of course,
Lovely
yeah, but
person.
she got a bounce.
Yeah.
Right.
But then, so I was like, and this beautiful guy named Lenny with like long curly hair.
Yeah.
We've all got long hair, actually. It's really,
All
really,
three, yeah?
yeah, all long brown hair.
Nice.
We're all a bit tall. It's it's a very, very. We should probably start wearing gas masks or something and just like make ourselves like one unit. But
Or pig masks.
I could do that. Thank
Yeah,
you.
no
I'm
worries,
gonna,
man.
I might actually do that.
Sam.
And I'll credit you. And so this Lenny guy comes in, and we have to travel through Leeds and like all the way to almost Wakefield, and
Why?
because that's where Moth the drummer is,
Ah.
and that's the only place where we can make that much noise.
Fair dues. Got studios.
So Lenny brings his pedal board, and I go, ooh. Starts putting it on. He's got like 8 different pedals, and like 3 of them are distortions.
Nice.
And I'm like, you're playing bass. Why do you have an octave pedal that goes up? That is unruly. And that is like, from there, I started bringing my pedal board with an octave pedal that goes down.
So you're sort of almost crossing wires with it.
Yeah,
like,
so we're crossing wires. We're
guitar's playing
tweaking.
low and the bass is playing high.
Yeah, there are genuinely songs that we're working on where Lenny will take the solo and I'll play the bass.
No, amazing.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
So have there been any live performances yet?
Nope.
Any recordings?
Well, there have been a a couple, like, we go to the jam night and we go, can we play as a band? And so other than that,
So you have played together
we've
as
played
a three
together.
out and about, right?
We've played together as the trio. Woo!
Oh shit.
My Kit Kat, my Easter egg. So yeah, we've played as a trio out, and we've gotten a bit of feedback and done this and that, and go, hey, do you have a sound engineer? And from that, we've just been writing.
Nice.
Obviously, with me, I write a ton,
Of course.
and the problem with a lot of my mixtapes is, and it's not necessarily a problem, but it's just a thing about them, is that a lot of my tracks, you'll hear a lot of hip hop.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, boom! I'm singing about my feelings.
Yeah,
and there's a
Over
guitar.
kind of rocky vibe,
yeah. So it's really good because now I can separate those, and now I can do my hip hop,
Solo, as it were.
and then do my rock with the band.
Yeah.
And there's blends.
I was gonna say, don't turn your back on Dinkmaster with a little bit of rock in it.
yeah,
'cause
of course,
that's
of course,
vibes, man.
and obviously Hog with a little bit of hip hop.
Oh mate, of
I
course,
mean,
bit of rapping in.
Yeah, there's one track.
The lead guitarist, bassist guy's rapping.
Yeah, I mean, there's one track where I have to play like this. I think I did it. At the first Jam at Tony, I was like showing off. I was being like, oh yeah, I can play this like bass line and like rap to it at the same
Yeah,
time.
that was impressive. And
Yeah.
you drummed and rapped the other day as well.
I did not know I could drum,
No,
let
that's
alone drum and rap.
I can't even drum, so that's really impressive.
I genuinely don't know how I did it.
It's great stuff, man.
I think it was a thing of like I just keep air drumming to try and practice, just like because I'm like, well, I've got nothing better to do.
Yeah.
You can't really air bass just like this.
You're just one of those annoying cunts who can do everything, though. I think you can give you. I reckon if I give you a trumpet, if you don't know how to do it, I bet you just figure out the embouchure quick as and get some nice notes out of it.
I can mimic a trumpet with a kazoo. To be fair.
Oh, I mean, you are the kazoo master, man.
It is. Yeah, it's a problem. every time I do a live gig or like a set, and I've got this track on the mix with Pablo Saxabar. Love you, Pablo. I will get somebody up on the kazoo if he can't play.
Yeah.
And I will get anyone.
Yeah.
I met this really small indie rock band that's like just got their foot in and just dropped their first single called Hardware.
Yeah.
And I met them, and immediately like two of them were going up, and their other bandmate was like sat there and just like watching it. And I was like, yo, you don't get a free drink token if you just watch. Do you want to come up on my set and play a kazoo solo and do some ad libs? And he was like, yeah, sure, I'll have a pint. So it's that sort of thing. And then I did a gig on Friday supporting Dan Opposite. Hi, Dan.
Yeah.
And on that, Pablo was at the gig,
Oh,
but his
sick.
saxophone was broke.
Oh man.
And then lovely Lenny from Hog was being my like DJ sound guy for the night. So I got both of them to do an 8-bar kazoo solo
Amazing.
over the beat, and then at the end of the beat there's another 8-bar section. So I was like, give me that.
Love a fucking kazoo, man.
Yeah,
But it's grassrootsy, innit? It's like anyone can play it. You just got to hum into it, and it's cool, man. I remember Jurassic 5 doing a bit with the kazoo in it, and
Hell yeah.
you got a group of people together at yours one time to do like a big kazoo thing, right?
Yes, and it did not work.
Did it not?
I
Too
bought
much at once.
24 kazoos.
Squadron of bees.
It wasn't even that. It was the fact that only 4 people. I went up 5 people showed up.
Oh, I was definitely one who didn't. So sorry about
Yeah, hey,
that.
no, it's okay. You've got your life. You've
have.
probably got work. I don't know what you do for work. You've got family. You
Yeah.
got this. You got that. Me, I've not got work. I've not really got much family. So to me, it's just like, well, I can do whatever.
Good
That's
man.
why I'm always out of these open mics, because
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
got the energy.
Good man. Yeah. You're right to be though. You've
Yeah,
gotta
because
throw
if
yourself
I've not
in.
got a job, I have to work.
Well, yeah.
So work on the music as much as possible.
Thing is, like, I feel like, and I've said this to quite a few people when you're not in the room, like, in the next 10 years, something will happen for you. It might not be in hip hop, it might be in comedy, it might be in rock, it might be in something else. I just feel like the hard work that you're putting in, the ability and talent that you've got, there's just no question that something's going to come off for you, man. So, like, do definitely keep grafting as you are, man, because fucking, yeah, it's sick to watch. It really is.
Thank you.
What is the future of Dinkmaster then? What have you got stuff in the works? Because you kind of, you were just putting out massive projects, and then as it got every 20th, etc., and then as it's got more recent, it seems to be like one here and there, and you said you were kind of trying to get them a bit more polished, although polished was the wrong word. What is the what's the overall thought process of where you're looking at, or is it just
Well,
about creating?
Right now, I want to take a break from making a full-on mixtape.
Word.
Making 10, 20, however many tracks for it.
Yeah.
And I want to focus on the small. I want to focus on making a 5-6 track EP, which I'm working on.
Yep.
And getting just as much juice out of a 6-track EP as that I can.
I see.
And that's not just with my solo, that's with Hog as well.
Nice.
I'm balancing both right now. We're
Good
like
one.
looking at, imaginary set lists and going, oh yeah, let's do the tritones. Oh no, do Hammer On. Do 10 Feet Tall like there. Oh, and then do emo song. Yeah.
You're already considering these things.
And then with the Dinkmaster solo stuff, already sending out like demos to who have I been sending out demos to? Oh yeah, another one of the rookie numbers. This lovely lady named Maz.
Yeah.
I've sent for a trumpet outro.
Yeah.
And I've got like this big fanfare-ish sort of like big like exquisite eccentric outro, and I've actually already performed it live. And what I've decided to do every time I perform it live is that's probably going to be like the last track for most sets.
Yeah.
And I'll just lay on the ground and pretend I'm dead.
Nice.
And then hopefully lights cut to black and over, done.
Right.
And I mean, with that, sending out demos to people. I've already got one from Berms Germs. I don't actually know his rapper name.
Fair
I
enough.
think it's Demi Gordon or something like that.
Okay.
He did some sets with Danny Phantom. He's from Bermuda. Maybe
right.
know him, maybe
I don't
not.
actually. I've never heard of him before.
He's a blooming good rapper.
Right.
So,
Where's
yeah.
Yorkshire based?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
You need to put me on with him because I'm trying to collect all the West Yorkshire rappers unbelievably.
Yeah,
that's
I
the plan.
mean, there's a lot and they're all hidden. I mean,
Some of them are.
I found another guy named Saul at the Chemic Tavern open mic.
Right.
Called Dispersal. And literally immediately I was like, yo, let's get you down to a jam night.
Yeah.
Me and him start freestyling, trading like 16s like over a live band. It was beautiful.
Dope, man.
Yeah, so I'm anytime I like meet a new like MC or rapper, I always try work with them.
You're right too.
And I mean, yeah, and that's kind of coming into fruition with the Big Catch EP. That's what I'm calling it.
The Big Catch.
I've got a picture of my brother on his birthday with. Have you been to Murgatroyd's?
No, where's that?
What?
Is that in Hawksworth?
No, it's like near Yeadon. It's like
right.
the best fish and chips place
Oh, I don't
in
eat.
Leeds.
I'm vegetarian, so I don't eat
I
fish
know,
chips.
but like, just get the chips.
Yeah, but they fry it in fucking beef fat, so I can't have that shit. I know. Tell
I'll
me
eat
about
them
it.
for you. I'll eat it for you.
Okay, Murgatroyd's anyway.
I'll send one into the sky. Like, this is for you.
Thanks, man.
And it's just a picture of him with a humongous battered fish. I mean,
Special.
it must have been.
Must have been a special.
Yeah, it was. It was literally called the Big Un, and it was so huge. We just took photos of him while he was eating it. We didn't even eat.
Right.
And I timed it on my phone. It took him 20 minutes.
Nice.
And if you see the cover art, and he's a large guy.
Yeah.
You'll see the cover art and you will like be guffawed at the size of this massive fish.
Fair.
And I was like, Henry, this is inspiring. Wow. And so I took pictures of it, and immediately I've said at the moment, I'm going to use that as the album cover, the next album cover for when I do a proper project.
Yeah.
And I'm standing by that. I keep to my word. That's what's
Big
going to happen.
Catch EP. That's the next
Big
one that's
Catch.
coming. And
Big
what is
Catch.
that going to be? All Dinkmaster stuff? And that's the concentrated EP?
Yeah.
Okay, sick. Well, we're going to be looking forward to that.
No.
I think, listen, I'm probably going to wrap it up here. I feel like we could talk forever. And honestly, I've managed to hold in most of my admiration for you as a creative, because I do think like what you're doing is phenomenal. Do you know, just hearing that story of you using video software to master and using Fruity Loops demos and stuff, it is the story of hip hop, because everyone who gets involved in hip hop at any stage, it's like always pots and pans and just throwing it together and beatboxing and kazooing and community and ciphers and stuff like that. And that is the purest element of hip hop, because it's meant to just be, you're meant to just be able to create it right now and here and now and all the rest of it. So, and I feel like you embody that, man. So listen, thank you so much for what you're doing for the Y. I can't wait to see what you do with the rest of it. And thank you for coming on the podcast, man. You're
Thank you
absolute
very much.
legend, man. Big
Thank you, ex-Pendulum.
So that was the Dinkmaster. What a legend. Looking forward to more stuff from him. Please go and check him out if you've not heard it. Please go and check out that. If anything, check the Time Is Money track that he's got on his streaming or whatever, just to sort of get a flavour, because, yeah, unbelievable. Until next time, big up.